Rabbi Azoi. Disappointed and despondent that he had not taken part in the Chanukas HaNasiim, the Medrash says that Hashem appeased Aaron by telling him that he would light the menorah, and that would be greater than what the Nasiim had done with their korbanos. The Ramban asks two powerful questions on the simple pshat in this Medrash as quoted by Rashi. Number one, why did Hashem not comfort Aaron by mentioning all the special korbanos and offerings which the Kohen Gadol would bring every single day, or the special avodah on Yom Kippur, which is solely the jurisdiction of the Kohen Gadol? And number two, why was Aaron despondent in the first place? For the 7 days before the Nasiim had brought their korbanos, Aaron had been busy bringing lots of his own korbanos in the Yemei Miluim. My hi! The Ramban was born in Catalonia in 1195. To give you an idea of his setting, one of his closest friends, who was also his cousin and eventually his mechutan, was Rabbeinu Yonah, and his Talmidim included the Rashba, the Ritva and the Ra'ah, and his grandson was the Ralbag. What's perhaps less well known is the Rashba says that the Ramban practiced as a doctor. Although the Ramban lived in Spain, home to the great Sephardi Mekubalim, he also came under the influence of the Ashkenazi Balei Tosfos, specifically Rabbeinu Tam, through his Rebbe, Rav Yehuda ben Yakar. So his works contain a unique combination of all flavors. These works are phenomenal beyond description. His defense of the Rif in his Melchames Hashem, his defense of Rav Tzadik Gaon's Minim HaMitzvahs in his Hasagos, on the Rambam's Sefer HaMitzvahs, his Chidushim on Shas, and of course his Perush on Chumash, which was his final work, which contains really everything. Pshat, Dikduk, Halacha, Hashkafa, Kabbalah. Now back to the Ramban's question about the Medrash and Hashem's response to Aaron's disappointment. Says the Ramban, the menorah that Hashem was referring to was not the menorah which the Kohen Gadol would light day in, day out in the Mishkan. Hashem was actually referring to the menorah of the second temple, which re-inaugurated the Beis HaMikdash on the Chanukah that we celebrate on the 25th of Kislev. With that, the Ramban answers his questions. True, Aaron had brought korbanos for the 7 days before the Nasiim in the Shivas Yemei Miluim, but he wanted to be part of an inauguration, a Chanukah. So telling him that every day the Kohen Gadol would bring offerings, or that on Yom Kippur there would be a special avodah, that would not have reassured him. And now we understand why this inauguration was even greater. Unlike the Nasiim with the Mishkan, the Chanukah of Aaron's offspring, the Chashmonayim, would outlast the Beis HaMikdash and would be celebrated with the menorahs that Yidden light every year on Chanukah to this very day. The Ramban lived an amazing life, but not an easy life. In 1232, he found himself caught in the middle of the controversy surrounding the Rambam's Moreh Nevuchim and tried to mediate between sides, but to no avail. The Rambam's books ended up getting burned. In 1263, he was summoned to Barcelona to defend the Jews in an accusation which had been brought against them by a Dominican priest, suggesting that their Messiah had already come. The Ramban performed brilliantly in the debate. In fact, King James of Aragon said that the Ramban had won hands down, but after accusations which were levied against him after the case, he was forced at the age of 71 to flee Spain, leaving his yeshiva, his family and his children behind. He traveled to Eretz Yisrael, where he spent the last 3 years of his life, but there he found Yerushalayim devastated in the wake of the Mongolian invasion. In fact, there were only 2 Jewish families living in the whole of the city. But in line with his understanding of the Medrash and Hashem's reassurance to Aaron, the Ramban was able to build beyond his despondency. He took the initiative to build and inaugurate a shul, which still stands today in the old city, where he also established the yeshiva. And like the Chanukah of the Chashmonayim, the Ramban's amazing Torah legacy lives on to this day, as Jews all over the world delve into the saintly words of this great Torah prince, which brought and bring such light to the world. A good Shabbos.